Hello and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 13, Week 5, PMA QoP Circles Game 2. In the last game, Wraith King got trolled and Anti-Mage got to sit back and relax as his team won 3v5s on a fairly consistent basis. Let's see what happens this time. Definitely wonder what would have happened. I definitely don't agree with the Brewmaster ban.
Oh, they're blaming the brew.
No. I mean, he had a good KDA, don't get me wrong, and it wasn't a bad, Brewmaster performance. But Brewmaster had a more profound mental impact than he did, an actual, tangible, in-the-game impact in that game, I think.
10 seconds.
The real issue was Visage. I think I would just kind of put money on that. The real issue is Visage. Just prevented Axe from being able to just casually get the calls. I think if Axe is able to casually get calls and not have to worry about the Visage brews dumping on him and stuff, so much more of that game goes well. And the Storm Spirit. Again, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that one. I feel like actually probably, if you're looking at the last game, that would probably be the... Well, maybe Lich. I would say Lich would probably be a worse reactionary ban here. And unfortunately, that means that the ban gets through, which is very bad. Bane probably one of the signature heroes for Burst Stream. And like I said before, like I'll say again, I think it's a hero with a very profound impact. A lot more profound than a lot of people realize. Any hero right now, and I will say this for the record, read my lips, I'll say it a million times. Any hero right now, especially a support, or even a 3, that has some relevance after the BKBs are out, right, is worth a lot. Worth its weight in gold. Anybody who can keep the CC going, anybody who can keep, negative effects going through that BKB, worth their weight in gold. Bane right now, I don't know how much Bane weighs. In fairness, he looks pretty light. Worth his weight in gold.
Axe.
Running back the Axe here.
Versus...
It's definitely a lot more dangerous to be running the first phase Axe when Bane's on the field, I can tell you that much. You do have the Omni this time, so I do think it matters a little bit less. I mean, he can't make Axe magic immune anymore, but really, for the most part, Axe is going to be looking in a lineup like the QoP Circles to basically be just a miniature black hole that's around more often, right?
Yeah.
So even if he goes in and he gets a good call and he gets gripped, as long as he doesn't die, and Omni Knight should be able to take care of that, things go well. Maybe things don't go so well with Underlord there, though.
I don't think you should grip X, and then you can grip the 1 or 2.
Right.
Radiant team ban.
The Underlord up there is a, oh, there's a Visage man. The Underlord up there is a very big concern. That is going to make actually following up on the Axe call quite a bit more difficult. Losing out on your physical damage is just not the best thing to have to happen. The good news is that if Omni is positioning himself well, then you do get the absolutely massive call bomb there. That is really something you can't do anything about until BKBs come out. Not only is that just a massive pure damage bomb coming out on everybody in the call's head, that is also just a big heal to Axe, meaning that even if you don't die necessarily, very good news for you in the circle there. Yeah. PMA banning out the Viper. Probably not a bad ban. I mean, Kai would never be caught dead playing Viper, but if he was to be caught dead playing Viper, this would be a fantastic game for it. Being able to break the Underlord very casually and being able to just kind of eat Bane whenever he's trying his funny business, very good. And if neither of those things are particularly necessary, then another Toxin on the Axe call is great. Razor getting banned out again. PMA kicking out the Life Stealer. A bit surprising. I guess, thinking about, Life Stealer breaks the Underlord and then just fights. Breaks the Underlord with Silver Edge, I should say. Not a bad Fun Stealer game, but definitely a hairy one for him. I don't know if I ever like Life Stealer against Bane, to be honest with you. not only do you lose so much if you get queued, and you can get queued pretty easily, but if you get Fiend's Gripped, you are you are going to die instantly. Basically, you have just no hope to survive. The way Lifestealer is tanky is beating people up, right? It's hitting
Yes.
Q and beating people up. If you are unable to hit Q or beat people up as Lifestealer, you are really no more tanky than like a support. No PL, by the way. I gotta question the decision to ban PL against Axe a little bit.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds
Who
remaining.
knows? Just doesn't want to play against it, I guess.
Guess so. But I will be talking to the boys about that one.
Radiant team pick.
I am Shadow Shaman. Unfortunately for Shaman, I believe his snakes are affected by the Pit Lord passive when that's in effect. But it's not like that's going to be something that the snakes are running into every day.
Ten seconds remaining.
Shaman's going to be good here in his ability to get rid of what the Bane is doing. So that much is good. Very casually. He's got pretty good cast range. He's got 2 stuns he can do it with. Even if Bane is like, even if Bane is completely balling and has like a Lincolns or something, Shaman still has an answer. But he might not have an answer to that. That's a very strong pick here. I don't know whose pool Skywrath Mage is in, but it'll be interesting to see. The downside is that right now the Skywrath is... He's got a lot on his plate.
Monkey King.
Monkey King up here. Skywrath Mage is going to have a lot on his plate in this game. Pretty much all 3 of the targets in the QoP Circles right now are both A, guys you want to silence, and B, guys you want to drop ult on. And Omni Knight in particular, Medusa, if he's not silenced, can pretty easily just kind of strike what you did from the record. At any given point. I don't like Medusa against Pit Lord. Especially after the change.
I don't like against any of these heroes, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Dire team back.
One of the picks in the lineup I had in Plays a Joke, which actually got banned out both games here very interestingly. Even in this game where you got the Bane first phase, so I don't really know why they needed to ban him out. Had some alternatives here to the Medusa. None of them are that appealing, I think, with the Underlord around. Underlord kinda screws a lot of these guys, and Bane does too. I think that's kind of the issue. Like, I don't like Medusa in this game, but when Bane and Pit Lord both got through, what pos 1 is good? There's really not many on that list, are there?
Radiant team pick.
Good against some Monkey Kings, that's good. But just everyone else, like,
Dire team pick.
And that certainly isn't somebody you like to see. I think Ursa as a counter to Medusa is pretty often overstated, but Ursa being strong against Medusa is something I think nobody would argue with.
Yes. And he also doesn't care that much about Axe, especially later in the game.
Right. If they get some breakout on the Axe, or if you have the Omni Knight around, then I don't think Axe cares about what Ursa is doing, but the only problem is that I don't know if the reverse isn't also true, On one hand, Axe has nothing to fear from Ursa, he's always safe to call Ursa. On the other hand, with this lineup, what does he achieve by doing that? It's not like he's going to kill him necessarily. Or at least it's fairly unlikely. Well, I don't know, actually. I think if Ursa's not ulted, then and Omni Knight's in the right place, you could definitely have a scenario where it's like, call Purify Bomb with the passive on, not passive, with the W on Axe. Shadow Shaman or doing his funny business at the end of that. And there we have Zeus. Can I ask you something?
Yeah, let's hear it.
What do you think Zeus is going to do in this game?
I'm not sure he's gonna do much. Like, he messes with Monkey King a little bit
And he's
for
somebody that
the first 20 minutes of the game.
yeah, he
and
messes
that's
with
it.
Monkey King a little bit. He's somebody that Pit Lord is never particularly relevant to, but like Ursa just kind of eats him and he can't do anything about it. Monkey King eventually is just gonna eat him and he can't do anything about it. And if Skywrath or Bane are around, Zeus, good night. At least he has some cool
Yes.
shoulder pads.
Yeah, so there's that.
Once again, I think there's an understanding of the sort of basis of the lineup I was trying to get them. And this time we do have the Axe Omni Knight. So there is that. I did think that was probably the most powerful like duo of characters. But unfortunately, Shaman's going to have a lot on his plate. Medusa is never going to mean anything. Let's just call a spade. Ursa, we've got Ursa, we've got the Bane, we've got the Pit Lord. Bane and Pit Lord combined were already pretty much going to knock out like any pause one in the pool. Let's just say that. It was already going to be like the pause 2 game. Pause 1 is a wash until like 50 minutes with those two alone. Until the Pit Lord is Atrophiora is answered, and
Prepare for
until
battle.
there's so much to stop Bane that you're not going to get Fiend's Grift again. Even then, you still have to deal with the Q. I don't think there is, not just in Bean's pool, I don't think there's anybody in the game who in pause 1 was going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Medusa's not the choice.
Dota 2 is a fun and balanced game.
Taking the damage off, because now, you know, last patch, one big thing we had is Split Shot no longer can do 100% damage anymore, which means that, or not 100%, can no longer do 80% damage, which means that that Pit Lord passive against Medusa, which is already pretty good, is going to be doing a hell of a lot in this game, especially if we go
30
double or
seconds to
nothing,
battle.
and we get into the situation for PMA, where Medusa is both in the Atrophy Aura and getting hit by Enfeeble. If both of those things are the case, Medusa is going to be doing like low double-digit damage on the split shots, basically. Like, seriously, like 20, 30, 40. If Healy's gets a Crimson Guard this game, Medusa is going to actually be doing no damage.
The battle
Like,
begins.
basically ever. She's going to need Daedalus to even compete. And then you have Ursa, who's sitting there on top of it. Ursa, who has an okay answer in the form of the Axe and Shaman. I mean, no matter what time of day it is for Princess, you never really want to get in, like, the ward traps as the Ursa, right? For example, you never want to be sitting in the middle of the Shaman wards. You never really want to be cold. I mean, sometimes you'll be able to deal with it, but it's not something you want to have happen to you.
Likes you. Axe will kill you last.
At least Axe likes Ursa for some reason. And Ursa missed the first last hit.
That's fine, you got the range creep. Range creep's super important.
Trisoft starting out here very aggressively, which is a bit of a hard play to make against a Skywrath mage. Dusty on the Skywrath, by the way,
Yes.
if you were wondering.
No.
Axe says no. One thing that's going to be tough for Shaman is that this is definitely going to be the kind of lane where, well, this isn't good. Never mind, it's fine. This is going to be the kind of lane where Shaman's going to be able to leave that often. Like, he's going to need to just kind of stick around. He's going to need to both be getting denies and just stuns out pretty frequently on the Ursa here. Which is definitely something in Shaman's playbook. It's definitely something he can do. Question is he going to do that? Or is he going to try and go for like the support trades and try to get the funny pulls and that sort of thing? Because if he's doing like this ain't gonna work.
Yeah, Ursha's just gonna freeform this lane again.
Right. I think freer than Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage took some deaths in his
He
time in the
took
field.
one in lane phase.
I think he took 2. Did he not?
No, it was one.
At the very least, his one at least one and at least one route as well. And this is going to be the end of the crafty
Yeah.
potato, I believe.
Okay, maybe
Well,
not.
Ban actually not being level 2 there really screwed him over. That was good, but that also does kind of show how this lane is going to be going long.
Yeah, because X and Earth is very bad for X.
Yeah, this is the worst time for X to be looking at Ursa. Like, as this game goes later on, it's going to get gradually better and better for him, this matchup, but like right now, nah, no good for him. And like I said, even at the end of the day, it's still going to be nothing more than, okay, survivable, but... Very surprised if we were picking the Medusa if the Ursa got through. I guess they did knock out the Drow and the Anti-Matrix are probably worse. An interesting scenario. Crafty Potato getting the first blood here.
First blood.
Immediately just going to try and body block for Tall Balls there. Oh!
Ooh.
That was good in theory. I like what he was trying to do there because he's trying to make Ursa think he was just like cutting down a path and just going down a different one, but just didn't.
Radiant's middle
Didn't
tower
actually
is
happen.
under attack.
It's definitely better in theory than in practice.
Okay.
Crafty Potato pushing is like a little bit staying this close to this lane. They definitely need a Sav down here now. Once again, just, you know, more of those funny supply line issues. Both members of the safe lane here top picking up their magic wands here, which is definitely not a bad idea. If Omni Knight's able to get a fairly early... bonk. Omni Knight's able to get a fairly early stick, and especially if he's able to get a fairly early locket, then I don't think he really has anything to fear from Skywrath for the foreseeable future. Should be able to tank through, and should be able to tank through with the wand. You know, should be able to just pop the charges to survive things, and then drop skills to just come back from it.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
Radiant's
Tall
bottom
Balls died
tower is
randomly.
under attack.
Let's
Yeah,
see
run
what
down
happened
the
here.
jungle over much.
Yep.
Yeah.
Came out here to block the camp and kind of died.
Ursa just 4 shots him.
Is under attack.
This is a very interesting scenario where I think Tall Balls is actually overthinking this lane. Like, the more complexities you try to pull in against a lineup like this, the worse things are going to go for you. The more time you spend out a lane is both more time Axe can't be even kind of close to things, and more time... I don't know what that ult was for. And more time that, really... probably just to try and get the kill on Dusty down there.
Yeah.
More time that you're not able to get on the, just for... Let me start this thought over, because that completely derailed my train of thought. The less time Tall Ball spins the lane, the less amount of time that Crafty Potato can be even close to it, or else that's going to happen to him, and the worse it goes for Tall Balls, because he's very apt to get picked off in the jungle and die. If Tall Balls is actually closer to the lane there, that is pretty much a guaranteed kill, I think, against Ursa for Axe, which is very, very, very good for him at this point in the game. But because he was kind of far back, he was trying to deal with the equilibrium and all that, he just kind of died. You don't have to worry that much about equilibrium with Ursa. Like, it's a factor. You should definitely have it in your head, but I think you can manage the equilibrium against Ursa with just an eyes. He's just not that good at, like, farming up very large amounts of things at once. Certainly not at this point in the game.
My favorite.
Yeah, he's not a flesh former.
Man, I weep for CombinationBean. Like, this is not a bad Medusa start. Like, it's not great, but she's not doing that much worse than Ursa outside of the kills, and it's somebody who has the ability to farm up way faster than Ursa, so that doesn't matter that much. The only problem is that literally, like Medusa is almost going to be at like a 5 to 10 minute penalty this game, no matter what happens. Like, there's the fact that like at any point Bane can just suddenly just drop the Fiend's Grip on her and she could just do nothing about it unless she happened to ult prior, basically, is bad.
Yeah.
The fact that Bane can always just put the Enfeeble on her and make her crap is bad.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Well-timed call there from Crafty Potato, but I
Yeah,
think
that
maybe
is-
went the wrong way.
Okay, maybe it doesn't matter. Oh, okay.
Radiant's top
Princess
tower
almost
is under
got
attack.
almost got screwed by pathing there. Oh my lord.
Goodbye,
Turret
Courier.
has been killed.
Okay, this off lane is a bit of a disaster, I'll be honest.
It's a tear falling out of my eye for Axe at this point, I think. Going for the Vanguard here, probably not the thing to do against Ursa. Sounds good in theory. The problem with the Vanguard against Ursa in practice is that Fury Swipes does not care about your damage block.
This is an awkward spot here. There's
Yeah.
Kai coming up on him.
That
Okay. We'll get him.
Zeus gets an unstoppable.
That's fine,
King's
it's not
Ransom
that much
comes up.
gold. It's pretty early unstoppable, so it's like 100 more gold than he would have gotten normally.
Right.
Nothing will stand in my
Perhaps
way.
more interestingly, it does allow the offlane here to sit down, calm down, get their thoughts together, get a wave or two off before they have to worry about Ursa coming out again, which is good. Honestly, after Ursa's making a play like that, and given that at this point there's absolutely no way Zeus does anything to Monkey King except to die, I think this play would probably to just be have Zeus just come down here and just stay down here for a while. Just basically be, you know, just the threat in lane that Ursa and Bane just are having to think about, having to worry about. It's certainly something that, at the very least, certainly something that Ursa has to.
Boy.
But unfortunately for him, Crafty Potato is sitting here alone. I don't really know why. I'm not really sure what they were doing in the triangle there, but it looked like nothing.
Second.
Maybe. We got stacks. No stack here, no stack here, no
He's
stack
failing for
there.
second. I definitely saw him pulling the creeps out, so I guess it just didn't. It just messed up the stack. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I have vision of him.
I don't know about this. Like, this is a good kill. It is good that they're doing this, but I don't know if I don't know if this is just a, you know, just a worthwhile place to be at all. Especially not having 3 people down here. CombinationBean now is just completely isolated up top, which is a bit of a dangerous scenario, as Omni Knight has also kind of just ran down to mid. And here goes the courier.
Okay,
Dire's
unfortunate.
courier has been killed.
I have to pay a bit of attention to that when you know the 3 is there. Healy's just straight up just farming off the small camp, basically. Trisoft angrily watching him, but ultimately not doing anything about it. There is one silver lining to the Pit Lord pick. Pit Lord is going to be a walk-and talking Atrophy Aura and Fiend's Gate this game. Omni Knight's sheer existence pretty much nulls any actual damage Underlord is going to be doing at any point in this game. There is one thing good for him.
Yeah.
Is anything
little,
else but yeah, is
What
any
little consolation that is.
is anything else going to be needed but the Atrophy Aura and Fiend's Gate? Is anything
No.
else even going to be needed besides just the Atrophy Aura? That's a much different question.
Dire's bottom
Once again,
tower
another
is under attack.
another shot on Skyrath. That was not worth the Zeus ult. It didn't even get the kill.
Yeah, they're gonna kill Burst Stream too, maybe. Okay, maybe they did get him, but oh god, Moon River just
And unfortunately,
decapitates Skull balls at the end there.
here's a big feast of wards to give straight to Moon and Princess. Definitely not the time to use that, unfortunately.
Radiant's
I
bottom
understand
tower
why,
is
you
under
know, it's just
attack.
something they have to do instead of getting the kill, but I kind of doubt they get either of those kills anyway. It just gave them a lot of money. they were like closer, they were like here when he dropped those, and maybe you're talking about a different story, but unfortunately those did not serve. Those were an unnecessary distraction and just kind of gave money.
Illusion. Gold and sweet.
Really do not approve of this game plan at this juncture. You know, in a situation,
killing Dusty.
yeah.
Is under attack.
In a situation like this, and there's kind of making Dusty the only person they're killing, really. Like, you know, in a situation like this, right? Teddy Roosevelt once said, you know, in any crisis, the best thing you could do is the right thing. The second best thing you could do is the wrong thing. The worst thing you could do is nothing at all. I'm going to take a little bit of poetry out of it to amend it. In a crisis like this, the best thing you could do is to be constantly smoking with axe at the head, to try and find and just chop down Ursa repeatedly in the jungle. The second best thing you could do would be to get 4-on-1 on Monkey King and just be bullying him out wherever he shows his face on the map. And the worst thing you could do is just try to bully the 3-on-under club to get some easy kills. I assure you with utmost sincerity, even if Ursa is not great at quickly farming things up, he is far better at that than you are at grinding off of kills that you do not get half the time.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Okay, gonna take a little bit of heat there.
Yeah, very quick rotation by Axe, cuts that off.
Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
The earlier Ursa Roshan. Very nice.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
14-minute Roche. It's not the earliest it could have been, but it's by no means a bad timing for it. Very fortunately for Axe, he can take so much punishment here.
Dire's middle
Support's not so lucky, but at the very least, you know, Axe just showing there very flagrantly that when Omni Knight is around, when Omni Knight's got the kit for him, he is pretty much impossible to actually bring down right now. So that is good. Medusa having to just make a quick retreat here.
Questionable TP. Not sure they have the control necessary to TP there, or TP their Medusa there.
Right. They're just going to very casually go down here.
And this guy's ageist. That's really unfortunate.
And the good news is that Axe is still able to take about 10 minutes of punishment before he finally goes down in the midst of that. But I mean, honestly, as bad
I'm
as
not
it
sure
is,
what happened. Like, Medusa TP gets her killed, and then everyone else runs in to get killed too. I'm
Yeah.
not sure what happened there.
as heartless as it is to say in a scenario like that, just leave Medusa be. I think just leave Medusa be. It is an issue that I think the QoP Circles has sometimes, that they will. Sometimes they'll kind of ignore saves, and sometimes they'll go so crazy on the saves they just kind of conga line into their deaths. I think if Medusa dies there, it's very bad, but like I said, Medusa, no matter what she does, is going to mean so little this game. Just unfortunately for her, just based on the way that the picks have fallen around her. Like, it's definitely... You're not gonna shed that many tears just watching her go down at this juncture, that's all I'm gonna say. At least you shouldn't.
Oh, kill Dusty again.
Yep.
So, there's that.
They will drop 3 and blink reveal on Axe. Or a Culling Blade at the very least. So they do get a little bit more out of it than usual. As mentioned earlier, Healy's did bring out the Crimson Guard very early as well. He went right into that, which is definitely a good move here. And that is going to really mean that Medusa is going to have no consequence in fights for a long, long time.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Lord's showing up. Actually, everybody's showing up in the back line here to just get rid of the tall balls.
Bottom tower
I don't know if that's actually the play. They lose a T1 anyway.
Cards here too.
Oh, okay, then yeah, it definitely is a play. Why is Kai there? He's Zeus! You can't do that as Zeus! What do you think you're doing showing up to a power push as Zeus? Definitely let the shaman just take care of that.
Feel better already.
Kind of a hard game to talk about, to be honest with you.
Right.
Well, what's on your mind today, Randy? Why don't you tell us about a funny thing that happened to you recently?
Nothing funny happens to me. I'm sorry. I'm a veritable black hole of humor.
I'm not really sure why Crafty Potato is here, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Jumping
I don't
Dusty,
know.
I guess.
Dyer's
Again, and at this point, PMA is very visibly, as seen there, starting to play around it. You know, just so much
Yeah,
attention being given to the wrong targets. You can't farm kills here, kids. It's not gonna work.
They're gonna kill Tress up here too.
Just gets completely
I believe they're
evaporated.
crumbling right now.
Notably, there was not even
Dyer's
an
middle
Omni
tower
ult
is
there.
under attack.
Yeah.
I don't know how much it matters, but well, there's
Yeah,
the
they
Aegis
get
on
Aegis.
Ursa.
I guess.
That call,
Piece of
oh, such a tragic call. Just 1 second too early, but still gets to the point where they are going to lose the support and going to have to route for this, which is definitely better than fight so far.
Yeah.
Without the Pit Lord being personally present here, he actually vamoosed pretty early in that fight. Without the presence of the Pit Lord, things definitely go a lot different for them. Like if, you know, if Omni Knight, well not Omni Knight, but if Medusa can actually do things, then
Bye,
it's a lot
Omni.
different. Tell you what Omni Knight cannot do is Omni Knight cannot beat that wave and get out.
They have a really nasty looking two-headed dragon in the Monkey King and Ursa right now.
Dyer's middle
Right.
tower has
Not sure
fallen.
even one of them is killable, much less both of them.
Even
they're
it-
playing together right now. So.
Yeah. Even if
And
they,
I mean, look at your Deuce that just dies in 2 seconds.
even if they weren't all together, even if it wasn't like going perfect for them, I really struggle to see where the game is for QoP Circles. Like,
Dyer's
even
middle
if,
tower is under
you know, let's say that I haven't even looked at the net worth charts, mamma mia. Let's say for a second that Ursa is sitting at like Medusa's net worth and vice versa. He's still going to be doing basically he's still going to be basically on Medusa's level just because of how this comp went.
I and Moon River exchange business cards in bottom lane.
Crafty Potato and Healy's exchanging business cards in mid here. I think this Pit Lord may have gone just a bridge too far. He is very tanky to Fizz damage, but that ain't Fizz. Ursa is finally here, but nope, sorry
they're all
Ursa,
here.
you ain't doing anything. At least not yet. Well, unfortunately, I just barely is gonna go down there.
He actually
Spawning is
flies
divine.
back into this fight.
Scara totally whiffs the ult there. Didn't last about it. Hax is once again totally out of mana. Dusty's gonna go down,
Oh,
Bane's
this is
gonna go
rip.
down.
Fortunate.
Shadow Shaman buys to try and TP here, but you're never gonna catch these dudes.
Yeah, they're not gonna kill the cores. So, barely a victory, really.
The cores are mortal, the only problem is that there is no way to catch them without the Zeus Eggs, basically. And the Zeus Eggs is not on the field right now. Whose shard is, that's good, but...
Regeneration.
For as down as this game looks, if only If only it weren't for the Bane. I think the Pit Lord you can deal with eventually. If only it weren't for the Bane pick, I would say this isn't over yet for QoP Circles. Because Medusa actually is still, you know, taking some deaths, and that ain't good. But still is able to get some farm out very regular basis. Is able to get money on a very regular basis. He's having to compete with it a little bit, but is able to get the cash out. And is often going a little bit ignored here. That's an interesting Fiend's Gate.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And that's an interesting dieback.
Yeah, unfortunate.
I do not kill you lightly, but still, you are dead.
Radiant's top tower is under
What did he
attack.
just say? I did not kill your life, but still you are dead? I like how,
Maybe that's what he said.
I like how Underlord popped Crimson there for Zeus. Aegis comes out. Not really sure why Tall Ball's just kind of running back and forth there. I think if he just goes in a straight line, he lives. Very unfortunate time for him to go down too. Some snakes on this T3 line could definitely help make a uphill a lot more difficult for them.
Right.
Well, that sure wasn't convenient. Crafty Potato, definitely like how he was trying to make the guess there, trying to figure out where the
Juice is dead.
good Omni ult.
Good. Yeah, maybe
Very
not.
good
GA.
Omni ult.
Dire's bottom tower is
Aegis going to go down. Medusa makes it back into the fountain. She is A-okay.
Dire's bottom tower
Okay,
is
good
under
GA.
attack.
Oh, Kai just gets evaporated.
Yeah, if there is one thing that I think has been really frustrating this game for QoP Circles, just how little the this is an interesting
They're
little
all
mess.
ward trapped. Oh no.
Everybody's in jail now.
3 people
Womp.
ward trapped? Okay.
Dire's structures
It
are
is very much so how little the Zeus has been able to do this game. Like pretty much Zeus's job this game has been to ult supports after they've already dropped their own ults. And that's it. He does die.
Diverse, yeah.
At the very least, there's some signs of life from QoP Circles there. I thought the buyback and execution on the axe was very good. The snakes messed that up so badly for PMA. I think it just inspired some instant panic. Like that happened, and they were like, "What do we do? What do we do? I don't know. Get the hell out." That's good. This is not good.
River. Turns around. Okay.
Yep. Turns around,
back
tries to do a
early.
statue last second.
Unfortunate. Oh. Let's go.
This is a very, very ambitious go here by Haley. He's looking for the
You'll love to see it.
They're
That's the
convinced
kind of
at this
wacky,
point.
aggressive plays I love.
They're fairly convinced at this point, I think, that next time CombinationBean goes down, the game is over. And it is kind of hard to argue with that. An
Yeah,
equally ambitious blink from the axe!
Okay.
And Pit Lord is out.
He killed Heelys, but I'm
He's
not
gonna
sure that's the
lose
most
life in the
important floor to
process.
kill right now.
Right. Well, there is actually a bit of importance there because the death of Heelys is going to allow Medusa to actually participate in this fight. Well, at least would allow
I guess, yeah.
Medusa to participate in this fight. But this fight's not happening. B, that was a dieback for Axe. So, in a
Yeah.
regular scenario, I think that was a win for Axe, but not this one, unfortunately.
Okay.
Moon River, giving his own reenactment to the classic clip
Dive.
dive. No!
Oh! Asleep!
top tower is
Doesn't matter, he's still dead.
That was super sick, even if it didn't work. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Yeah, that's Bane for you. That's why you don't let the Bane through in a scenario like this. But yeah, reenacting the classic Dive Iris segment there. Finally giving them a
Actually, I
solid
don't
quick
think
kill.
it's quite as game losing this time.
Oh, no. At this point, QoP Circles has expended basically all their buybacks. The only one up is Medusa. The only one that's going to be up anytime soon is Medusa.
That's a deuce without Scotty, so
Right.
is that worth really?
And Medusa without Scotty, looking at a team with Bane and Underlord with Crimson. I'm actually going to hold on Bean here for a minute because I want to see what her damage comes down to when she split shot around the,
Oh no,
Nope.
Kai! Yeah, that's an out of control Ursa.
Yeah. I'm going to say that that the Kai Zeus is in this particular game is on the big book of ideas that didn't work out.
Right.
Just
I know what the idea is. I think it's an easy way to cancel Bane grips, maybe.
potentially, yeah. But the problem is that you've got to be that close to Bane to do that, and Zeus is not somebody who can do that. Plus, you already have
Yeah.
Shaman if you want the sacrificial goat. Like,
Yeah, true. Oh no, Deuce is dead.
Healy's just body blocking Medusa's way in.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, she's losing like, you can see it there. She's losing 78 damage when she split shot around Pitlord, and I believe that is low enough that Pitlord is personally actually invincible to her
They're
strikes.
killing everyone here. Kind of interesting.
Radiant's bottom tower
Well, that's
is
good.
under attack.
It's good, but I don't know.
It's hard to
like,
say how much it
Deuce-
means, but it's good.
Deuce gets a lot of gold from that, but she needs like way more.
Right. Something else, they've also made sure here that this base is still completely clean. All these T3s are still up, and the only one that... Well, both of the T2... Or the T2, the T3 mid and bot are pretty dinged up. They're not so dinged up, they're just going to die the next time somebody sneezes on them.
It's mine.
Just 3 spins and the wave is dead. Very sad news for any Creep fans in the audience. You know, Radiohead makes other songs.
Yeah, they do. It's true.
Love that. Once again, even with the strength buff from Heavenly Grace on him, Omni Knight around the Pit Lord is actually invincible to the Omni right click. But he is certainly not invincible to this.
Yeah,
Okay, he is a little
sure.
bit more invincible. Ooh, that's a uh-oh. Oh, the grip. Oh, the grip. Oh, the grip. The Omni Knight ult comes out
Wow.
so late. Not like it matters, the grip was the real problem anyway. Crafty Potato
Yeah.
doing his very damnedest to try and keep things going here, but... That was pretty
Kai just
much...
melts in every fight.
Yep. That was pretty much the scenario that PMA has been looking for. Like, there's the big casual grip on Medusa that isn't able to be interrupted, and it's just over.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
HH.
Uh-oh. Crafty Potato calls the G's, and we're going home tonight.
Yeah.
Radiant victory.
There were some good signs from that for QoP Circles, but there were some very bad signs from that too. One definite note is, I do think the PMA lineup shift didn't actually, at least perceptibly, change things quite as much as I thought. They weren't quite as dominant as I thought they were going to be over the course of both of these games. You know, these were two scenarios where QoP Circles, I think, more in game 1 than 2, even if the play was probably better in 2, had visible victory conditions through the thing, whereas like I think on paper they shouldn't. So that's good, and I do think there is to a degree that is the PMA shakeup is not 100% as scary as it is. I mean, like I said, you are still losing a lot from Dusty going 4. But I do think a big part of that is I do think QoP Circles were playing these scenarios well. But I will say this much: I think Game 2 was super lost in draft phase. Like, I don't understand the Zeus at all. It didn't do anything for them here, basically. I mean, some damage, yeah, but like without any
Right.
ability to frontline against Ursa at all, who was already on the board, mind you. I believe Zeus was the last pick overall. Without some ability to frontline even to a degree against Ursa, or at least shut him up for a minute. You know, pretty much every fight was just determined by, like, you know, because Crafty Potato was never able to finish the Blade Mail even. Every fight was just kind of determined by, you know, can Ursa get separated from his lineup? If no, they just all die. There was no roadblock to the Ursa here. The biggest thing here, though, like I said, I know I've been beating on it the whole game, but like letting the Bane through was way worse than letting any of the 2 starting bans through, I think. Like,
Yeah.
Bane had so much more impact this game than the Healy's Brewmaster did last game. Bane had so much more impact than the Storm Spirit Moonriver did last game. And I think Healy's on the Pit Lord had like 10 times more poor pressure by existing than he did as the Brewmaster last game, where really existing is also pretty much 60% of his gameplay there. But all Healy's needed to do here to have just such a major impact to just exist. The the final determination is this. Next week, I'm going to make a distinctive checklist of heroes to ban against the Dotfa lineup, and if we don't ban those heroes, I'm going to punch some people in the nose. I think Tall Balls overthought the lane phase, and that had some kind of disastrous consequences through the game. If he kept it simpler, if he had just stuck with KP, if he had just stuck around more and not focused so much on the equilibrium, because you know, it's funny. It's almost like they kind of got like the backwardsville going on. Like in game 1, they're sort of throwing creep waves to anti-mage and trying to get an aggressive presence all throughout the lave, where anti-mage really only needs to be around under his tower. They do get rid of the tower, and that's good, but I don't think they did enough to kind of justify the strategy there, right? So they're kind of throwing creeps into anti-mage's mouth and not really getting enough in return for it, whereas in this game, they were so afraid to lose the wave to Ursa, somebody who cannot deal with creeps being constantly under his tower very well, somebody who cannot just farm up those waves quite so easily for free, you know. He is going to be missing some shots, he is going to be missing some last hits, at least more consistently, right? And that anti-mage can. But this time they were focusing all on the equilibrium, and they were letting Ursa just kind of walk up to Crafty Potato and kill him over and over, and that's something Anti-Mage couldn't have done. You know, if they had swapped strategies, if they were all about the equilibrium the first game, forced Anti-Mage to come out, then I think he just kind of, like, if he tries to fight Axe, he doesn't win that fight. He just kind of dies, right? He just kind of dies repeatedly. But if they were just constantly playing equilibrium game, just trying to sack Ursa of every red cent, it's just not going to work. Whereas if you're just establishing dominance throughout the lane, if you're making it so that the pause 5 or Burst Stream just can't show their face or they die instantly, right? You know, the second that Bane's out of the way, Ursa's pretty easy pickings. And the way you do that is you just kind of establish control, you start, you know, cutting waves, things like that, right? I think if you switch up the strategies in the offlane, these games go a lot better. I think they just kind of made the mutual bad calls. And I think,
Right.
I think the... If we had the Omni in the first game, ironically, I think if we had the Omni Knight in the first game, and maybe the Grimstroke here instead, then things I think go a lot better. You know, just being able to, for example, like just tie Ursa to somebody. I think, you know, that is definitely going to be a high impact ability. And, hypothetically, being able to tie Anti-Mage to somebody would be big as well, but Anti-Mage just kind of kills Grimstroke with a nasty thought. And you had the Visage, that meant they couldn't take advantage of it. Visage is gone now. The advantage definitely can be taken care of. You have the quick fire silence for the Skywrath, you have the quick fire silence for the Bane, and if you're very fortunate, you you can you can get the silence out on Ursa at a good time and just kill him without fearing too much, right? The Omni Knight here, I think, did do well. I think sometimes Try was kind of going out of position. I think the 3 and Under Club in general was sometimes just going a little, just bridges too far. But I think if you have the Omni in Game 1 and the Grim in Game 2, I don't know if it's necessarily a win, but I think the chances of winning drastically go up. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Especially,
Against Ursa is rough. What can I say?
Omni Knight with
But
the
Ursa Bane is even rougher than that.
Omni Knight with the Huskar, Omni Knight being able to sustain the Wraith King in lane rather than just kind of leave him for dead. I mean, that definitely changes a lot, right? Whereas right here, Ursa's always having to think about where he is in comparison to the ult. He's not able to kind of just dodge ink swells like Anti-Mage is. Not nearly as well, anyway. You have the ability to, you have really a bunch of targets that your silence is very good on. I mean, if Monkey King, for example, gets silenced with the BKB down, he's just
Yeah, for
guaranteed dead, basically. So on and so forth. Yeah, but you know how it goes. Next week, we'll see if the QoP Circles listen to me. That'll be fun. I mean, they did listen to me more than I thought they did, but I do think they kind of maybe didn't see why. I don't think they quite understood the why element of it. So I guess there's something for me to hit on more in the weeks going forward. Why specifically are we picking these heroes, and if we don't, what do we want in their place? Trying to go for more of the methodology. I thought I explained that, but you can think all you want if the communication doesn't get through. So, with that being said, and we did have some comm line mistakes, like Ursa just getting to die very freely early on in Game 2, for example.
Yep.
It was a comm line issue that could have been resolved. I think, definitely the supply chain also as well. The team in general just does not, especially the supports, just do not get enough consumables in that lane phase. Crafty Potato, like I said, if he had mangoes in Game 1, there's like 3 or 4 more kills than Anti-Mage he gets. I'm not even kidding. Anyway, all things to look forward to next week. We are still in this game. We are still alive. We are not dead. Randy was under the mistaken belief that QoP Circles will be dead now. We're not. We're on the verge of it, but we're not. So, there is that. So, if you or somebody you know wants to learn Dota 2 at a casual or more competitive level, go to ld2l.gg to sign up today. It's not even too late, really, to get into Season 13, because holes are popping up. People are quitting left and right. It's a very busy time of year for starters, and a very dramatic time of years for enders. Stand-ins are pretty much always necessary. We at least have one confirmed stand-in going into next Sunday already, and it is, at the time of this recording, Tuesday. Tuesday night, in fairness. And, yeah, I think that's it. That's the ball game. Anything more to say about this series, Randy?
No.
What do you think about the PMA lineup shift?
I think Princess popped off in both of these games. Like some crazy combined KDA. Very good.
Okay, but what do you think about the lineup shift?
I mean, if it benefits Princess this much in every game, then yeah, good.
I tell you what the greatest tragedy is, the greatest thing, is like, I tried to, like, with the original intended triangle, it's like, okay, it doesn't matter how much Princess pops off if Axe is able to just get the call and get the kill, but in both games there was something missing from the puzzle that just stopped that, which was just very unfortunate. I really wonder what would have happened. I know he didn't want to do it, but I really wonder what would have happened if we had that Omni Game 1.
Right.
Or if, at the very least, if we had picked Wraith King, or the 1 more accurately, rather than necessarily Wraith King, which I don't think was a great choice either. If we had the 1 later and got Lion up earlier. Anyway, we'll see you next time.